Hello, Wilshere-Dacre. It's Miss Allwood here, and this is your masked singer activity for today. So just like Saturday night when the celebrities mask their...
Who are you? Hey. Who are you? Hey. Who are you? Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? Who's that behind the mask?
So many of your teachers have been busy reading this half term, but just like the Saturday night programme, The Masked Singer, their identity has been hidden. Can you work out who is behind the mask? You have a form that is in your student responses template with the list of all the characters and the names of the books that they said they were favourite, and you have got to guess which teacher is behind that character or that mask. So let's start with our first one. This is Hagrid the Hamster, and their favourite book was Adventure According to Humphrey by Betty Burney. But who is behind the mask?
Hello everyone, I'm a hamster. Can you guess who I am? I'm going to tell you about my favourite book. It's called Adventure According to Humphrey. I like it because it's about a hamster just like me. And he goes on lots of adventures with his friends. That's something I'd like to do one day. And the blurb on the back says, "Ahoy, mateys! I've had my share of adventures as the beloved pet hamster of room 26. But when I heard about the sailing competition on Potter's Pond, I longed for a bigger adventure of my own. Believe me, I got it, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. I helped out my classmates, Gail, Richie and Kirk, took an unsqueakably dangerous but thrilling voyage of my own, and even came face to face with a pirate. Would I do it again? Aye, you bet I would. It's all in a day's work for me. Your adventurous pal, Humphrey."
Now, remember, children, you are also there may be a few hints in here with maybe the character they've chosen or their book they've chosen, or some of them might just be throwing you off the scent. So number 2 is Rocking Reader, and their favourite book is The Last Wild by Piers Torday.
This is a book I read recently and really enjoyed. It's called The Last Wild by Piers Torday. You can find it in the school library. Here is the blurb for you to find out a bit more. In a world where animals no longer exist, 12-year-old Kester James sometimes feels like he hardly exists either. Locked away in a home for troubled children, he's told there's something wrong with him. So when he meets a flock of talking pigeons and a bossy cockroach, Kester thinks he's finally gone a bit mad. But the animals have something to say. The pigeons fly Kester to a wild place where the last creatures in the land have survived. A wise stag needs Kester's help, and together they must embark on a great journey, joined along the way by an over-enthusiastic wolf cub, a spoilt show cat, a dancing harvest mouse, and a determined girl named Polly. The animals saved Kester James. Can Kester save the animals?
Ooh, very interesting. Very young voice there, whoever that is. And the next one is Snoop Dogg. And the book that they read is The Midnight Guardians by Ross Montgomery. Now, listen out for any clues that might be there.
Hello. The story that I'd like to recommend is The Midnight Guardians by Ross Montgomery. It's a story I've read recently and really enjoyed, and I think you would too. It's an adventure story all about friendship. Let me read you the blurb. When evacuee Cole's childhood imaginary friends come to life, he discovers a world where myths and legends are real. But they bring dire news. Cole's sister is in danger. Together with his guardians, a 6-foot tiger, a badger in a waistcoat, and a miniature knight, Cole must race to Blitzbomb London to save her. But there are darker forces at work, even than the Nazi bombings. Soon Cole is pursued by the terrifying Midwinter King, who is determined to bring an eternal darkness down over everything. And that's The Midnight Guardians by Ross Montgomery. Check it out, you'd really enjoy it.
Who's behind that mask? Right, next one is Mike Monster, and their book is Wonder by R.J. Palacio.
Hello everyone, it's me, Mike, here to talk about my favouriteest book. My favouriteest book is a book called Wonder by R.J. Palacio. It is about a boy called August. It says on the back, I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking is probably worse. You can't blend in when you were born to stand out. This book is beautiful. It has moved me to tears and will change your life. Thank you so much for listening to my favouriteest book.
Now, could there be a clue there in the name of Mike the Monster and the film it is from? Who knows? Or maybe that is just a curveball and they're throwing you off the scent. The next one is, the character name is Bojo, and the book is Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl.
Hello, Wilshere-Dacre. It is me, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and I'm going to be doing some reading today of one of my favourite books. Always a really good book. It is Roald Dahl's Fantastic Mr. Fox, with illustrations by Quentin Blake, a very good fellow. So I'm going to read the blurb, which is a quote from one of my favourite characters from the book. Did you hear that, Mr. Fox? It's not over yet. We're not going home till we've strung you up dead as a dingbat. Ooh, quite a scary blurb. But a very nice book with some lovely illustrations. Oh, please do read it. And remember, hands, base, space. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bojo. So who is behind the mask? Have a think who it could be. Next one is Donut. The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson is their favourite book. Let's see if you can guess who is behind the mask.
Hello, my favourite book is The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. Oh, the sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to snail, said the tiny snail. This is one of my favourite children's books. I love it because the tiny snail helps the great big whale. I think it's a story full of happiness, friendship and kindness, and it's all about looking after our world. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, I think I spot a few clues in that one, but let's see if you can guess who was behind the mask. The next one is Piggy, and the book is Kensuke Kingdom by Michael Morpurgo. Who can this be?
The book I've chosen is Kensuke Kingdom by Michael Morpurgo. I heard the wind above me in the sails. I remember thinking, this is silly. You haven't got your safety harness on. You haven't got your life jacket on. You shouldn't be doing this. I was in the cold of the sea before I could even open my mouth to scream. Washed up on an island in the Pacific, Michael struggles to survive on his own. With no food and no water, he curls up to die. When he wakes, there is a plate beside him of fish, of fruit, and a bowl of fresh water. He's not alone. The reason I chose this book was it's a really fantastic adventure story, full of drama, and it's really about friendship and survival, and it's just got so many emotions in it when you're reading it that, that's really the reason why it's one of my favourite books.
Can you spot something in the background there that might be a bit of a giveaway to who this mask reader might be? As we did only just recently have our matching the pet to the teacher challenge. So next one is Big Eyes, and the book is Oliver and the Seawigs by Philip Reeve. But who's behind the mask?
My favourite book is called Oliver and the Seawigs. It's by Philip Reeve and Sarah McIntyre. The blurb says, with his new friends, a grumpy old albatross, a short-sighted mermaid, and a friendly island called Cliff, Oliver goes off in search of his missing parents. But before he can put his rescue plan into action, there's an army of pesky sea monkeys to contend with. I really like this book because it's got so many things in it. There's a mermaid, there's an albatross, there are talking islands, there are cheeky sea monkeys, there's lots of funny pictures all the way through the book, and it's just a really exciting, funny story.
Oh, who could that be? The next one is Octopus, and the book is James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl.
Hello! My favourite book is James and the Giant Peach. The blurb on the back reads as this. An enormous escaped rhinoceros from London Zoo had eaten James's parents. And it gets worse. James is sent off to live with his two horrible aunts, Sponge and Spicer. Poor James is miserable until something peculiar happens, and James finds himself on the most wonderful and extraordinary journey he can imagine. The reason why I like this book is because it's a lot of things going on, and it's also a lot of fun for James to go through those tragic things, but he comes out the other side.
And the next one is Giraffe, and the book is Elmer by David McKee. But who is behind the mask?
Hello, I like Elmer because it's so very colourful and it's different from the elephants, okay? There are once a herd of elephants, all happy, all the same colour. Elmer was different. Elmer was patchwork. Elmer was not elephant colour. And I think it's really good, this book, because it's diversity. We all bring different things to the table and we're all happy to include everybody.
I wonder who that could be. Maybe the room is a bit of a clue. Who knows? The next one is Hey Nay, and the book is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak.
Nay, my favourite book is Where the Wild Things Are. Mac's adventures when he sails away to a land where you find wild things. Nay!
I wonder who that could be. Were you in school this week? Does the jumper give it away for you? And the next one is Meow, and the book is Holes by Louis Satcher. Who's behind the mask?
Go. Stanley Yelnats' family has a history of bad luck, so he isn't too surprised when a miscarriage of justice sends him to a boys' juvenile detention centre. At Camp Green Lake, the boys must dig a hole a day, 5 feet deep, 5 feet across, in the dried-up lake bed. The warden claims the labour is character building, but it isn't. Stanley must dig up the truth. This is Holes.
And the next one is Porky Pies, and the book is Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling.
Harry Potter, along with his best friends Ron and Hermione, is about to start his 3rd year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Harry can't wait to get back to school after the summer holidays. Who wouldn't if he lived with the horrible Dursleys? But when Harry gets to Hogwarts, the atmosphere is tense. There's an escaped mass murder on the loose, and the sinister prison guards of Azkaban have been called in to guard the school.
Well done. Does the pig give it away? As a teacher in school in particular, that favourite animal is a pig? Or do you know it's their favourite book? I wonder who was behind that mask. And the next one is Alien, and the book is Good Thieves by Catherine Rundell.
Greetings, Earthlings. The book I would like to introduce to you is The Good Thieves by Catherine Rundell. I like it very much. It talks about New York. I should like to go to New York on my spaceship. I will read what you earthlings call the blurb. Here goes. Fresh off the boat from England, Vita Marlowe has a job to do. Her beloved grandfather, Jack, has been cheated out of his home and possessions by a notorious conman with mafia connections. Seeing Jack's spirit is broken, Vita is desperate to make him happy again. So she devises a plan to outwit his enemies and recover his home. She finds a young pickpocket walking the streets of the city, and nearby 2 boys with highly unusual skills and secrets of their own are about to be pulled into her lawless, death-defying plan. I hope you like this book as much as I do. Farewell, Earthlings.
Interesting. This is an interesting one. I wonder if there's a teacher in particular in the school that seems like they're an alien, or that's their particular interest. And the next one is The Artichoke, and the book is Catch Me If You Can by Michael Rosen. But who's behind the mask?
This is my favourite book. It's called Catch Me If You Can by Michael Rosen. Let me tell you some more about it. Michael Rosen knows all about you. He has written and Quincy Blake has illustrated a witty book of poems about the things that you do, that you say, that you know you think. Look inside and see if he's spotted your deepest secrets. A large fat volume of funny, sad, zany poems, some long, some short, and all guaranteed to delight the Scotsman. Read my book.
Well, who's behind The Artichoke? And another one, we have Dolphin, and this book is one of my favourites as well. And this is The Day the Cranes Came Home by Drew Daywalt.
Hi, my favourite book is The Day the Crayons Came Home. I like this book because I enjoy reading it to my children. It's about Duncan's crayon, who is certainly a colourful bunch of characters. Having soothed the hurt feelings of one group who threatened to quit, Duncan now faces a whole new crowd of crayons asking to be rescued. From Maroon Crayon, who lost beneath the sofa cushions and then broken in two after Dad sat on him, to Turquoise, whose head is now stuck to one of Duncan's stinky socks after they ended up in the dryer together. Each crayon has a woeful tale to tell and a plea to be brought home to the crayon box.
Ooh, but who's behind the mask? Who is Dolphin? And the next one is Sheepish. And their favourite book is The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton. But who's behind the mask?
My favourite book of all time is The Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton. And the blurb reads, when Joe, Beth and Franny move to a new home in an enchanted wood is on their doorstep. Join them and their friends Moonface, Saucepan Man and Silky the Fairy as they discover which new land is at the top of the faraway tree. This is my favourite book, as my mum used to read it to me before I went to bed, and it was my most favourite time of the day.
Who wonder who that could be? Was there some words in there that were clues? So in the student response section, there is a template for you to fill out, and it will have the character's name, and the next column it has the, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. In the next column it has the book that the teacher was reading, and you have got to match up and see if you think you know who was behind the mask. I hope you enjoyed this activity. The answers will be published on Friday, on Fun Friday, and see if you can guess which teachers were behind the mask. I hope you're having a lovely World Book Day and enjoying the last couple of days at home before we get to see you all in school. Goodbye.